네, 안녕하세요. 비입니다. 오늘 정국이 생일인데 다 정국이한테 초점 맞춰주세요.
Was this
감사합니다.
the moment no one expected? Was it a sign of something breaking within BTS? Or was it simply a misunderstanding that spiraled out of control? On September 1st, 2025, the entire ARMY community held its breath as images and videos from Jungkook's 28th birthday surfaced online. The golden magne of BTS, the one who always celebrated surrounded by his brothers, this time blew out his candles with only one person by his side, Kim Taehyung. Where were RM Jin, Suga, J-Hope, and Jimin? Why didn't they show up? Was there a conflict? Or was something bigger happening behind the scenes? The night was supposed to be filled with joy, laughter, and the sound of BTS together. Instead, it turned into one of the most emotional moments in the fandom's history. Millions of fans were left in shock, scrolling through posts and asking the same haunting questions. Why was Taehyung the only one there? Why did Jungkook look happy yet strangely emotional? And what about the others? Why didn't they come? When the first live broadcast started, Jungkook appeared with a soft smile, sitting in a dimly lit room decorated with balloons and a simple cake in front of him. His voice was calm, his eyes sparkling under the candlelight. He sang softly, but fans couldn't ignore the emptiness of the room. No loud laughter, no chaotic voices in the background, no playful arguments that BTS birthdays are famous for. Just him, and then out of nowhere a familiar voice said, "Should I light the next candle for you?" The camera panned slightly, and there he was, Kim Taehyung, sitting beside Jungkook, wearing a simple white shirt and that trademark smile that somehow looked a little sad tonight. It wasn't long before ARMY flooded Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok with questions, theories, and even wild speculations. Why only Taehyung? Where are the others? Is BTS okay? Hashtags like hashtag Happy JK Day, hashtag Only Taehyung with JK, and hashtag Where is BTS dominated the trending list worldwide. Some fans cried seeing Jungkook laughing with Taehyung, grateful he wasn't alone, while others couldn't shake off the heavy feeling in their hearts. Was there something the fans didn't know? Was this just a schedule conflict? Or was it a silent sign of something deeper? The curiosity hit its peak when Taehyung himself decided to break the silence. In a candid moment during the live, he spoke softly, almost as if choosing his words carefully. "I know many of you are wondering why it's just me here," he said, glancing at Jungkook, who nodded quietly. "The truth is, the others have their own agendas. But it's not what you think." That single sentence set the entire fandom on fire. What does that mean? Their own agendas? Is BTS splitting up? Are they too busy to celebrate Jungkook's birthday? Or is this connected to something huge that's coming? Fans couldn't stop speculating. Some believed the other members were secretly preparing a surprise for Jungkook. Others feared it meant the group was focusing more on solo activities, making it harder for them to come together. But then, as the live went on, Taehyung's eyes glistened with a mix of affection and sincerity. "I just couldn't let him celebrate alone," he continued, his voice trembling slightly. "Jungkook means a lot to me, to all of us. Even if we can't all be in the same place right now, we're always connected." The way he said it, slow, deliberate, heavy with emotion, left fans both relieved and heartbroken. It wasn't just about physical presence. It was about something deeper, something that spoke of time, distance, and the bond that has endured years of challenges. Jungkook smiled softly, leaning slightly toward Taehyung, and whispered, "Thanks for being here." It was simple, but the weight of those words was felt by millions watching live. But what about the others? Why were they missing from such an important day? That question lingered like a shadow over the entire celebration. Slowly, fragments of answers began to surface. Rumors hinted that RM was stuck in meetings for a major upcoming project, Jin had family obligations, Suga was in the studio working on something significant, J-Hope was reportedly abroad, and Jimin had a prior engagement he couldn't cancel. All these agendas sounded legitimate, but the timing on Jungkook's birthday still felt strange to many fans. Could all these things really happen on the same day? Or was this a coordinated move for something bigger? Something the members weren't ready to share yet? As the night went on, the live became a bittersweet mix of laughter and nostalgia. Taehyung teased Jungkook about old memories and Jungkook laughed. But there were moments when his eyes seemed to glisten under the soft light, like tears threatening to fall. Fans caught every detail, every glance, every sigh. It wasn't just a birthday live. It was a glimpse into the quiet, private world of two people who have shared years of triumphs and hardships together. When the live ended, fans were left with more questions than answers. Taehyung's phrase, "They have their own agendas," became the most analyzed sentence on the internet. Some believed it was innocent, a simple way of saying the members were busy. Others, however, felt there was a hidden meaning, something that pointed to the complexity of their current situation as global icons, juggling personal dreams and collective responsibilities. And then came the biggest twist of the night. Taehyung posting on his Instagram story with a cryptic message. Sometimes just showing up means everything. Was that a message for Jungkook? For ARMY? Or for the other members? The emotional weight of this event is hard to put into words, but one thing is clear: September 1st, 2025, will go down as one of the most unforgettable birthdays in BTS history. It wasn't about the grandeur of the party or the number of people present. It was about love, loyalty, and the quiet strength of a friendship that has endured the storms of fame. And as for the other members, their absence may have sparked concern, but it also reminded fans that BTS is more than just a group. They are individuals with lives, dreams, and obligations beyond what the world sees. So, was this a sign of disbandment? No. Was it a sign of change? Maybe. Or perhaps it was just life. A reminder that even the closest bonds are tested by time and circumstance. What matters is what Taehyung said, what Jungkook smiled through, and what ARMY felt in their hearts. That even when they're not all in the same room, they're still together in ways that truly count. But here's the question that still lingers: what did Taehyung really mean by their own agendas? Was it about secret projects, personal struggles, or something so big that ARMY can't even imagine yet? Only time will tell. Until then, fans will hold on to this night, replaying the live, dissecting every word, and waiting for the day when all seven stand together again. Not just as BTS, but as brothers who never let each other fall. As the live ended that night, ARMY was left with a tidal wave of emotions: relief, confusion, and an aching curiosity that refused to settle. Why did this birthday feel so different? Why did Jungkook, the golden magne who always seemed surrounded by the warmth of his members, sit in a quiet room with only one person beside him? And why did Taehyung's voice tremble when he spoke those words? The others have their own agendas. What kind of agendas could keep BTS from being together on such an important day? Theories began flooding the internet within minutes. Fans became detectives overnight, analyzing every possible clue from Wever's posts, Instagram stories, and even old interviews. Some believed the members were scattered across different countries, tied up with major solo projects or brand obligations that couldn't be postponed. Others were convinced that this was part of something bigger, a mystery that BTS was carefully crafting for ARMY, perhaps a hidden message or a prelude to a major announcement. Could it be related to the rumored new album? A secret documentary project? Or something personal, something the members weren't ready to share? Twitter erupted with trending hashtags. Hashtag Happy JK Day was joined by hashtag Where is BTS, hashtag Only Team with JK, and the most emotional one of all, hashtag You Never Walk Alone JK, as fans reassured Jungkook that even if the other members weren't physically there, millions of ARMYs were. One tweet read, "Seeing Jungkook smiling while Taehyung sat beside him broke me. It wasn't the loud celebration we're used to, but it was pure, and it was real." Another fan wrote, "If Tae didn't come, Jungkook would have been alone. That thought hurts so much. Thank you, Taehyung." And then came the theories that tugged at everyone's hearts. Some ARMYs remembered that during past interviews, Jungkook often mentioned how birthdays weren't a big deal for him, but how he treasured the simple moments spent with the people he loved. Could this be one of those moments? Could it be that Jungkook didn't want a grand party this year, that he just wanted peace, and Taehyung understood that better than anyone else? If so, then this night wasn't about absence, it was about presence. The presence of someone who knew his heart without needing words.